Is it me or did anyone else notice there was a black Tinkerbell and no one cared about it? You know what? That's a really good question. Let's talk about it. Ahoy, hoy, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The O Show. I'm O, and I'm here for your amusement. Okay, so I just want to start this conversation off right off the bat with my confusion with this whole oh, the little mermaid is black. Oh, the little mermaid is black. But what I don't get is this Peter Pan movie came out and Tinkerbell is black. But I don't remember anyone having a problem with it. Now, The Little Mermaid is in one movie. Okay, there's some sequels that who cares? But everyone had a whole hissy fit that she was being portrayed by a black actress. But Tinkerbell is like the mascot of Disney. She's flying around the castle at the beginning of almost every movie. Is that weird or is it just me? I don't get it. Why are we mad about one character being black and not the other? And I feel like making Tinkerbell a black character in this movie. Okay, now hear me out. In the original Peter Pan, back from what was it, 1953? Tinkerbell was a bitch. Straight up. Biatch, right? She hated Wendy. She tried to kill Wendy. When Peter was like, did you try to kill Wendy? She was like, hell yeah. I fucking tried to kill her. Captain Hook was like, I'm going to kill Peter Pan. And Tinkerbell was like, well, let me tell you where he is. Bitch. So now we have Yara Shahidi, who I love. You might know her from Blackish and Grownish. And she plays Tinkerbell, right? But in this movie, she's all nice and she smiles and she's so cuddly and she throws magic dust. What's it called? But anyway, pixie dust. What's her dust called? So she's not bitchy anymore. And I feel like if she was, people will probably be up in arms saying that now she's an angry black woman. Because if they made her the way that Tinkerbell was, who literally told the Lost Boys to kill the bird, right? She would be portrayed as an angry black woman. And people go, not only is Tinkerbell black, she's an angry black woman. Because she's trying to kill another female. Females don't get along. And I guess the message will be lost, I guess. But instead, they made her all nice and cutesy and did not like Tinkerbell in this movie at all. Now that we got that out of the way, let me just tell you what this movie is about. So, the movie starts off with the Darling kids all in a little nursery, and Wendy's being sent off to boarding school because, I don't know, maybe she was a wild teen and she's out in these streets and she needs to be taught a lesson. I don't know, whatever. But, side note too, we'll edit that out later, right? Okay, so one thing I never understood about any of the Peter Pan movies is that they're always in this big, huge mansion, right? But then you got these three grown ass kids in the same bedroom. Now I know for a fact these houses have to have like 5, 6 bedrooms in them. How come Wendy, John, and Michael all share like this nursery in this big, huge house? What? Does that make sense to anybody else? All right, so anyway, that's what's happening. And then Wendy's like, blah, blah, blah. And then Peter Pan shows up, and then he flies them to Neverland. So, this Neverland in this movie is so ugly looking. Like, remember in the cartoon, like, there was rainbows, and it was nice and green, and it just looked so magical and beautiful. Like, not only do I not want to grow up, like, I don't want to move to the city because, like, look at all this greenery and, like, trees and jungles and things, right? This movie, like, I feel like they're in, like, Iceland or something. Like, I had friends that recently went there, and I saw their pictures, and that's what Neverland looks like. Just a bunch of rocks and some mold, like, growing on the rocks. There's no, like, mermaid lagoon. Now, there was a clip of mermaids when they first get to Neverland, but, like, how come there's no more, like, mermaid interactions? Remember in the first movie, like, there were boobies on the mermaids? Okay, you can't do that now. It's on Disney Plus, but they just it looks so stupid and boring and black and gray and brown and just ugly. Okay, so like in this movie, there actually is a backstory with Captain Hook. Like, who knew? Because I'm sure we all as a kid was like, where did Captain Hook come from? Why is his name Captain Hook? Blah 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 doo. So they try to give like this backstory to say that Peter and Captain Hook were the original Lost Boys, and Captain Hook, whose name was James, was like longing for his mother, so decided to go and leave Neverland to find his mom. And I guess he got lost or something, and then he got found by pirates and was brought up the pirate way, and now is the leader of the pirates. And then Peter was like, hell no, you can't come back, and like got his hand cut off because he was pissed. Peter's like, you leave this island and come back, I cut your hand off, I guess. I don't know, but it's so weird because now they just made Peter like this bad person. Like, you kind of root for him, but now you root more for Captain Hook because now they just told you this sad ass story, and you have no other choice but to feel sorry for him and look at Peter like he's the asshole. It's really weird. And speaking of Peter, like, no disrespect to this actor who played the character, but I feel like there was a miscasting with him. Like, Peter Pan is kind of like a little taller guy with maybe brown, reddish hair. And this kid, like I said, like, Neverland just looks so plain and boring. I don't know if it's just the bad lighting or maybe there's not enough sunlight in Neverland. But he has like this dark brunette hair. It just drives me crazy. And like, he just kind of, I felt like I was watching like a high school play. Like, he just kind of comes in and does his lines, but there's no like, you're a kid, you are young forever. Like, frolic around or something. Like, he's just there to do his lines, and that's it. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the kid that played Peter. That's just me. And when it comes to the Lost Boys, they're no longer Lost Boys. They are Lost Boys and Girls. So apparently, Disney felt the need to have all representation in the Lost Boys. But I guess you can't call them Lost Boys because they're not all boys. I don't know what the point of that was, but I guess like it happened, so I guess it is what it is. You know who was actually good though in this movie? Jim Gaffigan. Jim Gaffigan plays Smee. And I thought he was good. Like, Smee is always like the comic relief in any Peter Pan like movie, so I thought that casting was pretty good. And I actually did enjoy Jude Law as Captain Hook. I didn't actually know who was in this movie going in. Honestly, I didn't even know Yara Sahidi was Tinkerbell when I went in. But yeah, he was. I thought Jude Law did a pretty good job as Hook. Now he did better than that damn Christopher Walken in that live version that we had on TV. Ooh, that was a mess. So blah 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 happens, and oh, you know what? There also is a Tiger Lily in this movie, which I didn't really like the way they. I don't know. Half the time she's speaking this language, and it's hard to tell like if people can understand her or not, which I guess they do, but then they don't speak it. That's always annoying in movies. But look, y'all, let me tell you, there's this part where Peter Pan actually dies. Yes, Peter Pan dies, right? Like he falls like 5 stories or something to the ground, right? Dead. But then here comes Tiger Lily with some kind of like voodoo weed potion. I don't know what the hell she made, but she put this grass on him, and he's fine. He wakes up. Okay. All right. Well, that happened too. And then blah 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 blah. Then we get to the end of the movie, and Wendy brings like the lost kids, because again, they're not lost boys. But she brings all these kids back home. It's all like, come on, mom and dad, like they have no place to live. Okay, first of all, did you forget that you and your 2 brothers share one bedroom? Where are they gonna put all these kids at? On the floor? That is worse than you could just left them in Neverland. They were fine there. Like the bad guy was defeated, and go about your business. That's why you're going to boarding school in the first place, Wendy. You get your nose all other people's business. Like, come on now. I guess, like, when I mean, the movie's called Peter Pan and Wendy. So I was kind of going in thinking it was maybe going to be like, kind of like Hook. I do enjoy watching Hook with Robin Williams, right? It's not the Peter Pan story from beginning to end. There's differences. They have it's this own story, and I really do enjoy Hook. I came in thinking it was going to be something like that. It's just a different telling of the story, and maybe get into more detail or relationship with Peter and Wendy. Like, why call it Peter and Wendy? We're just telling the Peter Pan story. Like, I don't get it. And stop making Peter Pan movies. How many movies do we need? The only one true Peter Pan movie I ever need in my life is this one right here. Peter Pan with Mary Martin. Do you guys remember this? Oh, sun glare. Oh, there we go. Hey, I still got my VHS. Don't hate on me. All right, so yo, for real, like, let me know if you've seen Peter Pan and Wendy. It is currently streaming right now on Disney Plus. If you've seen it, if you're going to watch it, or if you heard about it, or whatever, let me know in the comments. But seriously, I really am serious though when it comes to a black Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is the face of Disney for years and years and years, and I don't hear no one having an issue with there being a black Tinkerbell. But then everyone was all like, boo, 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 about there being a black Little Mermaid. Does that make sense, or am I crazy? You know what? This is why I drink, because I don't understand what's going on in the world today. Okay, so what do I think of Peter Pan and Wendy? I'm about to get drunk because I don't like this movie. So, out of my 5 shot glasses, I'm only giving this movie 1 shot glass because you tried it. It's not horrible. I think if you sit and just watch the movie once, you get what you paid for with your Disney Plus membership. Kids that may not be familiar with the original story, maybe they will enjoyed this more. But for folks like me who grew up with Disney in the '80s, like I was all about that creepy racist. Remember that song "Why the Red Man Was Red"? They didn't give the Indians enough time in this movie. They were just like a blink and you miss it. But yeah, I didn't. Ooh, we're doing brown liquor today. So, cheers. Ooh, ooh, no. Ooh, I should probably not speed shoot these. Oh Lord. All right. Stupid Disney. Ooh. We're gonna cut that part out too. Ooh. Hey, baby. That's my alcohol. I can't even talk. Does my breath smell like alcohol? Number 4. Hold on. You ready? Okay. Ugh. That is awful. Okay, everyone, that was a good episode. So, thanks for watching. Until next time, TTFN.